Good evening. Tonight, the Swag group would like to share with you a drama called Have You Reached Your Verdict? After 3 years of putting up with Jesus' public ministry, the Pharisees and other teachers of the law have had enough. Finally, they have Jesus right where they want him, on trial for claiming to be the Son of God, and no amount of facts or evidence will stand in their way of proving him guilty. This one-act drama walks us through the trial of Jesus in a somewhat modern courtroom. While this trial will prove Jesus has either been a magician, a devil, or the Messiah, I wonder what you will decide as you watch these witnesses testify against Jesus on different accounts of Scripture. So let's get this drama started. We start with Jesus and his disciples praying in the garden. Jesus and his disciples have been praying in the garden for hours. When they heard voices at the far end of the garden, the disciples looked up, and they were suddenly very afraid. They saw religious leaders and their soldiers. They carried clubs and swords, and Peter recognized them as those who wanted to harm Jesus. He also recognized Judas, one of Jesus' disciples, with them. Judas had known the religious leaders were willing to pay 30 coins to anyone who would lead them to Jesus. So Judas made a deal that he would be the one to lead them to Jesus. Judas informed them that they would know who Jesus is, for he would be the one that kisses him on the cheek. Judas headed towards Jesus and called out, "Teacher."
Judas, do you betray the Son of Man with a kiss on the cheek?
Judas could not look Jesus in the eye. He hugged the man who had been everything to him, teacher, friend, God. Then Judas turned away without looking back. In a flash, the chief priests and elders grabbed Jesus. However, Jesus did not struggle.
I'm the one you are looking for. Now let the others go.
Then Peter takes out a sword and cuts the ear of one of the soldiers.
Stop it. Put your swords away. People who hurt others will end up hurting themselves.
Then Jesus touched the soldier's ear and healed him.
There is no reason for you to take me this way, with swords and clubs. I have been teaching in the temple every day. If you wanted me, you could have easily taken me there.
When the guards moved in, Peter and the other disciples ran and hid. They were afraid of also being arrested. Jesus was left alone with his enemies. Even though the soldiers realized Jesus was not going to fight them, they pushed and hit him anyway. Jesus stumbled as they led him away from the garden. Judas was paid his 30 coins for betraying Jesus, and he knew Jesus would be put on trial for his life. Forward and collect your
You may be seated. Please bring in the accused. Bailiff, could you please read the charges?
The accused Jesus of Nazareth has been charged with being involved in sorcery, witchcraft, and other black arts, and with blasphemy, claiming that he is the Son of God.
Thank you. How do you plead? No response? Very well. Let's get this started. Bring in the first witness.
We called Jacob, Your Honor.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Shouldn't I swear on something?
We've been over this already. Just do what I tell you. Your name and occupation.
Jacob. I'm a pig farmer.
You do a good business raising pigs?
Used to.
How do you mean?
Well, we did fine until he came around.
By he, I'm sure you're referring to the accused.
Yes.
What did he do?
There's this area near the Sea of Galilee where we like to keep our pigs. They have good mud there.
And why do you keep them so far away from the house?
Ever smelled a pig? Anyway, at that time there was a crazy guy, and I mean real crazy. He used to yell at people who would walk by him and even kill himself with sharp rocks. The townspeople thought it'd be best to chain him down.
To be clear, this man was crazy. In your words, real crazy. And the people of the town thought it would best chain him down so he wouldn't hurt people.
Yes, but that didn't last.
What do you mean it didn't last?
Well, he broke through the chains.
You're telling me that a simple man broke through chains with his bare hands?
Yes.
He must have had some supernatural strength.
Yes.
So one day this man shows up?
So one day, Jesus, him and some other guys arrived on a boat. The moment they're on shore, this crazy guy ran up and knelt before Jesus.
So you're saying that this crazy man knew him? He even showed him respect by bowing?
Yes.
Go on.
Well, next thing you know, sis boom ba, this crazy man is right as rain. And then my pigs started acting crazy.
How do you mean crazy?
Well, they started biting each other and trying to trample each other. Things got so crazy that they ran themselves off the cliff and drowned in the sea.
And you witnessed this yourself?
No, my servants, they came and told, yes, I saw the whole thing.
An eyewitness. And now you have no pigs?
And now I have no pigs. I got nothing, and it's all his fault.
How do you think he was able to do this?
The only thing I can figure is that he's got some kind of connection to the spirit world. But that crazy man responded to him like he was his master or something.
So you're saying he's the master of demons?
I don't know if I'd go that far. Yes. He has to be working under the power of Beelzebub. Those demons left that crazy man's body and settled in on my poor little piggies, all because he made it happen.
Thank you. No further questions.
Anything you'd like to add? Again, no response. Anytime you want to speak up, just let me know. This witness may be excused. Call your next witness.
I would like to call Mrs. Boaz, Your Honor.
Please raise your right hand. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I will say whatever you want.
Have a seat, ma'am.
Please state your name and occupation.
Actually, I've been meaning to talk to you about the terms of my testimony.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
You know, you said I give my testimony and you'd pay me 100.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
We'll talk later, after the... My name is Mrs. Boaz and my husband's a potter.
And what is your association with the accused?
A very loose one, I'm sure.
Get on with it.
Let's see. It would have to be about 3 years ago. Yes, that's right. I'm about to celebrate our 3rd anniversary. That's when it happened, at my wedding.
That's when what happened?
Okay, the long story is this. It was my wedding day. My husband and my wedding day. Actually, he wasn't my husband yet, but never mind. Actually, he was at this point.
Get to the point.
Sorry. It was a reception after the ceremony. Now, don't get me wrong. Most of my family is very moral, God-fearing individuals. But everyone's got a few black sheep, if you catch my drift.
Enlighten me.
Well, we weren't more than 2 hours into the festivities when we ran out of wine. Actually, come to think of it, it was my husband's relatives that were...
I'm not going to say it again.
There I am wondering what I'm gonna do. You know, 'cause I don't want to look cheap. I mean, for my new husband to look cheap. When all of a sudden, these people are coming up to me, congratulating my husband on the great tasting wine. I'm wondering, did someone go down to the store? But then some of my servants told me what happened. That Jesus fellow over there had them fill up jugs with water. May I emphasize, well water? He has them fill up these jugs, does a little hocus pocus on them, and somehow he turned the water into wine.
Then what happened?
Well, like I said, everybody's coming up to me saying what great wine it is, saying I'm the best host ever. I didn't want to cause a scandal. What was I supposed to do? I took credit for it. But I can tell you this, I've never had him over to the house to look at our wedding paintings.
Would you say that he was only able to do this by some satanic power?
I don't know any other explanation. I mean, I love a good sleight of hand trick as much as the next guy, but water into wine, I think that's a little creepy.
Thank you. Your witness? Oh, that's right. You don't have anyone to defend you. I have nothing more for this witness, Your Honor.
You may step down. You may call your next witness.
I will now call Lazarus, Your Honor.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
I do.
Have a seat.
Please state your name and occupation.
Lazarus Weaver.
And what is your association with the accused?
Look, I don't want any trouble.
Neither do we. We just want the truth. Now answer the question.
He's been over to my house a few times.
And?
He raised me from the dead.
What was that? He did what?
He raised me from the dead.
Are you suggesting to this court that you somehow died and this man brought you back to life?
I don't know how else you can take it.
So what happened? How'd you die?
My doctor had put me on this high-fat, low-protein diet. I never thought he was that good at medicine anyway, but he's the only one in town. Anyway, I'm sitting there one day weaving, and I get this pain in my chest. I don't feel that good, and I black out.
But you didn't just black out.
No.
No. In fact, you died.
Well, not right away. It was after a couple days. It was really painful.
Then what?
When I was still just sick, my sister sent word to Jesus.
To heal you?
Maybe, but mostly because he was our friend.
How touching. So did he hurry right to your side? What am I saying? Since you're such good friends, I'm sure he must have.
No.
No?
No.
No. He waited until you were dead. Isn't that right?
4 days dead.
And what were you doing those 4 days?
I can't talk about that. No, seriously, I can't tell anyone what I saw there.
Fine, but you will agree you were not just sleeping.
No, I wasn't just sleeping.
So okay, Jesus shows up.
Jesus shows up. Then he asks for my tomb to be opened. And I hear this voice, Lazarus, come out. Next thing I know, I'm hopping out of the tomb covered in bandages.
Have you ever seen anyone else come back to life the way you did?
No,
So you're saying you're the only person you know of who's been raised to the dead?
I've heard of others.
We're not here to deal in rumor, only facts, sir.
Well, he's a very...
You would think that would take some pretty strong powers, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Would you consider yourself a godly man?
Yes.
Can you raise people from the dead?
No.
Neither can I. Neither can the judge. By a number of hands, can any one member of the jury raise people from the dead? Neither can one member of our jury. There's only one explanation for such events occurring, and they all seem to point to the same thing. Jesus of Nazareth is in the company of devils.
That's not true.
I'm done with this witness, and I ask that his last comment be stricken from the record.
So ordered. You may step down.
But
Leave. Any more witnesses?
No, Your Honor. The prosecution rests.
Do you want to answer any of these who accuse you? What about this other charge, that you claim to be the Son of God? This is very strange for an innocent man to remain silent against such accusations. Is this what all your teaching amounts to? Silence in the face of evidence?
I have only spoke openly to the world. I always spoke in the synagogues and in the temples where all the Jews come together, and I spoke nothing in secret.
How dare you address me that way? Am I one of your followers that you can treat me with disrespect? Answer me. Do you say that you're the Christ?
If I tell you, you will not believe me, and if I ask a question, you will not answer. But from now on, the Son of Man will be seated at the right hand of the power of God.
Are you the Son of God then?
Yes, I am.
What further do we need of testimony? We've heard it ourselves from his own mouth.
Blasphemy. He claims to be the Messiah. He must be put to death. Guards, take this liar to Pilate. You just signed your death warrant. Members of the jury, thank you for your time.
I was wrong. I was wrong. What I did was wrong.
What is your problem?
Take it.
We don't want your money.
But I betrayed an innocent man.
That's your problem now, isn't it?
Take it.
Judas, don't be a fool. He's already been convicted. Keep the money.
Convicted? What have I done?
Again, jury, thank you for your time. Caleb, please excuse the jury.
Jury members who are now excused, please place your jury member badges on the table as you go back to your seats.
What am I supposed to do with this? So what should we do with it?
I don't know, but you must get rid of it.
Are you sure we're doing the right thing?
People like this Jesus guy are a dime a dozen. Right now, it's a big deal, but a couple of years from now, no one will remember his name. As
Yeah.
for now, it's in Pilate's hands.
Yes, but are we doing the right thing?
Only time will tell. But as for now, have you reached your verdict?